Good morning and welcome to Barre with Jolynn at Namaste Yoga Studio. Let's start with a warm-up. Begin with some shoulder rolls. Open your chest. Draw your belly in. Keep your knees nice and soft. Work some crankiness out of the neck and shoulders this morning. Begin with a little crescent moon, pressing up through the right palm, bend to the left. My feet are a little wider than my hips. Bring it back to center, press up with the left palm and a little bend to the right. And bring it back to center, relax and shrug your shoulders a few times. Begin by drawing the left knee in, right knee into the chest, and bring it back down, left knee in. Find some balance as you do that, hugging in just as much as you're able to do that. And maybe you're not able to get your knee up that high at this point, and you're just doing some simple marching. Keep your core strong, maintain your balance by a big lift and spread of those grounded toes. Starting to wake up your hip flexors, your hips, so you maintain your balance. I wasn't using my core, I was paying more attention to what I was saying there. And then we'll start with a little bit of marching and swing your arms. A little free movement here this morning. Any music you like, you can put on and add to this flow this morning. So don't be afraid to go and pause me and switch on some music to accompany you on this ride. And we're stepping up to the top of the mat, and we'll take a little reverse hinge lunge. Bend your knee, bring it forward. Come back, bring it forward. Back and forth a few times here. Again, waking up those hips and hip flexors. We've got a lot of glutes and thighs today. So making sure we're ready for all of that. Switch sides, bring it back, and lift, and back, and lift. So this is a short hinge lunge. We're not stepping so far back that we lose our balance here. Keep it moving. 2 more here. Last one here. Coming back to that march. March, march, march. Here's 5, 6, 7, back to the hug, bring it in, and set it down, bring it in, set it down and in, and down and in, and down. 4 more here, 3 more, 2 more, last one. Nice job. Starting with some core, bring yourself down to the floor, take a drink of water, and I'll meet you back on the mat. Today we'll begin core on the earth, on our belly side. Coming down, extend your arms long, extend your legs straight back and point your toes. Engage your core, and we'll start with the upper body locust. Begin by lifting your head, your neck, your shoulders, and slowly lower. And again, head, neck, and shoulders, slowly lower. Keep it going. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Keep your hands, your forehead on the floor. We'll lift 8 times from the low body. Keep your navel drawing to your spine, belly button up, and lift just your legs and lower. Engage your glutes. Engage your core. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lifting everything up now for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up, belly button up, glutes engaged, legs engaged, and slowly lower to the earth. Come on to one forearm, I don't care which side you begin with. Now come onto that forearm so your elbow's underneath your shoulder. Extend your legs in a forearm side plank pose. You can use that top hand for stability, or you can raise it to the sky or place it on your hip. If you're using that top hand, still try to keep your heart rolled open here, working some obliques. Lift your hips, extend out through stacked feet or staggered feet. Lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. Here's 5. We'll be here for about 30 seconds. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Lower it down, come back to that locust pose. So coming down onto your belly. Now if your shoulders don't like to extend the arms all the way long at this point, just bend your elbows to goalpost. Tap into your middle, so really feel your belly button lift up towards your spine. Legs are a little wider than your hips. And we'll take about 20 locust poses from here. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Here's 3, belly button to spine every time. 5, 6, glutes engaged, legs engaged. Keep it going. 9, 10, gazes at the floor. 11, 12, 13, keep it going. Engage your whole body. 3 more here. 19 and 20, and let it go. And we'll come to supported side plank on the other side. So again, you can bring that top hand forward to support yourself, or you can extend your legs and bring your hand to your waist or up to the heavens. I have my elbow underneath my shoulder for good alignment. Keep my shoulder happy, keep my heart open, belly button to spine. Pressing down into that grounded forearm, press it out through the bottoms of your feet. Again, you can use that hand, but try to keep your chest broad. Lift and lower. Here's 2. Again, we're here for about 30 seconds. Keep pulling navel to spine. Engage all the way down through the soles of your feet. We're halfway there. We've got 3 more here. 19 and 20. Whew. Bring it down. We're coming to arms. You need a pair of light weights, maybe 1, 2, 3, or 5 pound weights. So grab those, maybe take a drink of water, hit the pause button, and I'll meet you back on your mat. So we're going to start with a little hinge lunge step up. So it looks like this. And the weights will be next to your sides. You'll step in here and lift up to tiptoes here. So it'll be a 4 count movement. We'll step back and in, and lift and in. Bicep curl each time. Squeeze, squeeze. Here, squeeze. 3 and 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8. Now we'll add a little knee lift instead of a toe raise. So lift that knee, bring it back, and in, and lift, and down. Here's 3, lift, stay connected to your core, and lift. Here's 5, lift, 6, lift, 7, and lift, and 8, and lift. Let's do the other side. We're stepping back and bicep. On the tippy toes, biceps. Back hinge lunge, bicep, tippy toes, bicep. Here's 3, lift, 4. Lift, squeeze the biceps, 5. Lift, squeeze, 6. Squeeze, lift, squeeze, 7. 7. Last one, and we'll add that little knee lift this time. So stepping back, hinge lunge, lift your knee. Hinge lunge, lift your knee. Keep your balance, hinge lunge. Lift your knee. Hinge lunge, lift your knee. I can't stay grounded with all of that foot on this side for some reason. Here's 6, 6, 7, 7, and 8. 8. Bicep curls, stepping a little wider, curl in and down. Just blasting out 8 here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring it down to low lunge. Step your left foot forward, your right foot back. Knee is over the heel. Quick blast of 8 delts, 8 chest presses, and 8 little lifts. I'm going to uncurl my back toes. You can keep them curled if that's more stable for you. Goalpost arms, stretching up and down. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 chest presses, curl in and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Little lifts here, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those hips back, half Hanuman. I'm going to take the end of my weights and stretch back. Prepping the legs, the hamstrings, the glutes for the glute and thigh portion that's coming up. Bend into your knee, we'll switch sides, so bring that right foot forward, knee over heel. Back toes can be curled or uncurled. Coming back to those goalpost arms, widen them out, and lift and lower. Lift, lower. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 chest presses, draw in and wide. 2, 3. Stay connected to your core through this whole thing. 6, 7, 8. 8 little lifts here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Send those weights down, hips back, half Hanuman. Pop your toes and stretch your chest forward. Now, if you want to pause this and do that whole thing again on each side, the goalpost lifts straight up, chest flies, and then the little lifts at heart center. By all means, do that if you want to take a pause and repeat that. Today, again, is a little more glutes and thighs and a little less arms, but if you want a little more, grab onto another set of that. Bring your weights down, and we'll come into some tricep dips to end the arm portion of this. So bring your fingertips behind you, either turn right towards your hips or slightly turn down. Elbows will bend straight back. So press down into your feet and lift your hips a little bit. Lift and spread those left toes and bring your right heel on top of your left knee. Let your chest be open and broad. We're coming into some little tricep dips here. So just 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep those toes lifted, really driving into that left heel. 2, and 1. Hold it up. Little bend. Bring it down. Switch your legs, pressing into the right heel. Lift and spread your right toes. And we'll lift up and bring the left knee to cap the right knee. Left heel to cap the right knee. Lift your heart up. We've got 8 here. 8, lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little bend. And bring it all the way down. Shake your legs out. We're getting ready to Give yourself a little hug if you want to go back to any of that arm work. If you're craving more of that today, by all means hit that pause button and or rewind and go back. Rewind, I guess we can say that on YouTube, right? Doesn't seem possible. It seems weird. Stretch your arms up and rinse the chest and the shoulders out and let it go, and we'll get ready for glutes and thighs. So make sure you're ready. Maybe a couple of blocks you can grab for that portion of the practice, and we'll get ready to go. Here we go with glutes and thighs. I told you glutes and thighs would be an intense part of the practice today, and it is. Here we go. We're stepping over to the top right side of our mat, standing in Tadasana. You can place your hands on your hips, or I'll give you an option for your arms in just a moment. So hands on hips or hands on heart, your choice. We'll take that left leg and step it all the way back, keeping the right foot exactly where it is. Now those left toes will turn slightly back and at a diagonal, as if you were coming to Skandasana, which is just a side shifting lunge, and we do that quite often in yoga. So as you come back, widen your thighs, stick your booty out a little bit, use that left heel to step yourself back up to Tadasana. So we'll come back and shift forward, back and shift forward. Here's 4. I'll give you an option with the arms now, taking right hand to left ankle. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forcing you to keep your balance here. Keep engaging the core the whole way. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Taking it to the other side, step to the left front side of your mat. Left foot stays exactly where it is. Hands to hips or hearts. We're stepping the right foot back, Skandasana. And step forward, Tadasana. Back and forward. Here's 3 and 4. Taking a big step back and really driving into that right heel to pop yourself back up to Tadasana. Maybe add that arm. Here's 9 and 10. 11. Keep your toes light as you're stepping back. Really drive into that heel to push yourself back up. Here's 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. And 20. Getting those quads and those glutes warmed up here. We're coming down to a table. Now I grabbed a couple of blocks. If you have cranky wrists, you may at some point want to bring your forearms down rather than being on the palms of your hands. And we will switch between hands and forearms. So I will be giving you a break as we go. But for this first glute and thigh work, we're starting in table pose on hands and knees. So bring your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and extend straight back through your right leg. Give a little press into the ball of that foot, extend back into your heel to wake up your calf and hamstrings. Coming into table then with the leg extended, we're bringing that knee in and underneath the hip, extend back and hold. So it's a brief hover, push. We want the push and the squeeze of that right booty to be the focus of this movement. Here's 6, 7, 8, push and squeeze, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, squeeze, push and squeeze, 17, 18, 19, 20, we've got 3 sets of 8, so 4 more to go. 22, 23, and 24. Nice job. Bring it to the other side. We hover, we push. Press into the ball of that foot and wake up your calf and hamstrings to begin the left side. Stretch long through that leg. We hover and press and squeeze into that left butt cheek. Hover, press and squeeze. Hover, press and squeeze. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Press and squeeze. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We've got 4 more here. 4, 3, 2. Press and squeeze. Last one. Bring it down to forearms. So if you would like to bring the earth up a little bit higher than coming all the way down, at any point that we're on hands and knees, bring your forearms down to blocks. I'm actually going to angle my end so that I can bring my hands easily to prayer. Lengthen through that right leg again. Lift and squeeze. Lower. Long leg the whole time. 3. Try to balance out your hips. Lift and squeeze. 6, 7, 8. Quick tap down. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Point those toes. 16. Little tap. Little tap. 19, 20, 21, squeeze. 22, squeeze. 23, squeeze. Last one, 24. Switch sides. Long left leg, point your toes, lift and squeeze. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Continue to hug your navel to your spine. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Last 4 here. 22, 23, 24. Bring it on up. We're coming back to hands and knees. You can bring your hands to blocks if you want. You can come back down onto those forearms if you prefer it. I'm just giving you some options as we move between the versions of table if you have cranky wrists. Extend back through that long right leg. Point your toes, engage your core, extend out through your leg, and really squeeze your booty a little bit here. Little curtsies and just a small range of motion. So we're taking a tap to the left and the right. Left and right. Here's 3, 4, 5, 6. Small range of motion. 7, 8. I uncurled my left toes because it was a little easier to get over that heel. Here's 11, 12. Hug your belly in. Don't let your lower back get cranky. 16. Keep squeezing that glute. 18, 19, 20. Point those toes. Last 4 here. 22, 23, 24. Switching sides. Drop your right knee down. Extend your left toes. Little range of motion here. 2, 3, 4, 5, tap, 6, tap. Core is strong, arms are strong, whether you're on forearms or you're on hands. Here's 16, 17, 18. Long leg, hug your belly in. Last 4 here. Here's 4, tap, 3, tap, 2, tap, and 1, tap. Bring it down, come down to your, let's see, how about your left forearm? So I'm gonna switch. So left forearm, right fingertips off the side of your mat. Coming back to table, elbow under shoulder, extend long through the right toes, turn your hip externally out, flex your foot. Draw that knee in towards your right tricep and push it out. So the push and extend is the hold. So we're quick tap, squeeze and hold. Quick tap, squeeze and hold. Quick tap, squeeze and hold. Here's 4. 5, draw your belly in. 6, 7, 8. Now I'm coming slightly back at a diagonal. So I'm getting hamstrings and glutes. 12, 13, 14, 15, squeeze, 16, squeeze, 17, 18, 19, 20, last 4 here, 21, 22, squeeze and hold, 23, squeeze and hold, 24. Press back, squeeze and hold, and balance and drop down. We're switching to the opposite forearm. Right forearm down, left fingertips off the long edge of your mat. Press back into the ball of the left foot for a moment. Externally rotate that left hip. Draw your belly strongly in. Quick tap, squeeze and hold. I have that foot flexed and I'm slightly behind my hips. Quick tap, squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, squeeze and hold. 6, squeeze and hold. 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm sweating. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, core strong, squeeze and hold, last 4 here, 2, 3, 4, press, and bring it down. Take a brief child's pose or a puppy pose, knees wide, settle those hips back just for a breath or 2. And rising up. Coming into Tadasana with a little curtsy tuck and a leg lift. So bring your hands to your waist or bring your hands to your heart and bring your hands to hips. So standing in Tadasana, we want those knees a little soft. Lift and spread your left toes. We'll take the right foot behind, a little curtsy tuck. Step to center, press and kick. So we're getting into the left outer hip and the right outer hip with this one movement. A little curtsy tuck, step, squeeze and lift. Curtsy tuck, step, squeeze and lift. We want to really drive off that left heel. Step, squeeze and lift. Curtsy tuck, step, squeeze and lift. Keep it going. We'll stay here for about a minute. Don't forget about your core. That helps you come back to that space of balance, right? I can't talk and engage my core at the same time. We've already figured that out in the beginning of practice today, right? Whew. Apparently I can't do it without talking either. Outer hip, outer hip. Outer left, outer right, outer left, outer right, outer left, outer right. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Switching sides, coming back to that soft Tadasana. Maybe march your knees out a little bit here. Back to the soft Tadasana. We'll take the left foot behind for the curtsy tuck. Woo. Working into that right outer hip. Tap to center, extend, working into left outer hip. Even hitting those adductors in the top of the quads. Curtsy tuck and lift. Again, we've got about a minute here. Stand tall, keep your core engaged. Curtsy tuck. Keep it going. Go really slow and mindfully. If I'm going too fast or your music is going at a different pace, you're more than welcome to pick it up or slow it down. 4 more here. Last 4. Hug your belly in. 3, 2, and last 1. Nice job, march it out. We're coming down into a sideline posture once again. Stack the legs, and then extend your top leg long. Lift your hips away from the floor, and lift your long leg away from the floor. We lift and squeeze, tap down, lift, tap down. Really engage through the outer quads and the outer glutes. Lift and squeeze, tap down, lift and squeeze, tap down. Hug your belly in, keep your heart rolling open. My glutes and quads are burning, yours might be too. Three more here. 19, 20. Bring it down, we'll switch sides. Spin yourself around to the other side. Clamshell those knees. Bring your elbow down to the floor. And extend your top leg. Pop up off that bottom hip. Shoulders over your elbow. And extend that leg, top leg long. Lift and squeeze, tap down. Squeeze, tap down. Lift and squeeze, tap down. Lift and squeeze, tap down. So now my under leg is really tired too. So you're gonna have to work a little bit harder to get at these. Keep it going. Here's 13, here's 14, 15, lift and squeeze, tap down, 16, 17, 18, I'm shaking, 19, and 20. Come on back to a child's pose. Knees nice and wide, and sink your hips back onto your heels. Take your time getting there. And bring yourself down to meet the mat. We have one more glute blast here before we come to our last bit of core work. So go ahead and glide yourself up. If you need to take a sip of water, go ahead and take a sip of water for a quick moment or hit the pause button. We're rolling one edge of the mat up, and that is just to keep us honest in a single leg bridge. So we keep the toes really light. We're driving into the heels to activate our glutes this one last time, I promise. So begin to roll the back of the mat up or the top of the mat up, whichever you like. Enough that you really feel like when you put your heels onto the mat, your toes are really light, like you could play piano with your toes, right? They're totally up and free, that you're just forced to press into your heels. So bring yourself on down as if you were setting up for a bridge pose. I'm going to wiggle my tushy closer to my heels here. And then keeping my left heel on the floor, I'll give you a couple of options.
You can either lift into bridge and interlace underneath you. You can press down on the pinky edge of the hands or the palms of the hands. So a couple of options. You can also robot your arms to 90 degrees if that gives you more support. Now with the legs, you can either rise up and hover one knee, or you can extend that leg forward, which is a little more challenging. It involves a little more core. So here we go. Lift and squeeze, hover, lift and squeeze, hover. Same pattern. We're activating that left glute. Lift and squeeze, hover, lift and squeeze, hover. Really driving down into that heel. Hover, lift and squeeze, hover, lift and squeeze, hover. I don't know what number we're on, but I'm going to assume 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Bring that opposite heel down. Take a moment to push the reset button. If you need to roll your mat closer or you want to put your toes on the floor, that's fine too. I totally understand. But now we're activating that right heel to get into the right glute, keeping the toes really light like you're playing piano with your toes, right? So begin again in your bridge, whatever that looks like. So palms down, interlaced, pinkies down, or robot arms. Either hovering that left knee or extend your left leg. Lift and squeeze, hover, lift and squeeze, hover. 3, 4, 5, 6. Really driving into that right heel. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you got it, 19, and 20, and bring it all the way down. You can let that mat go, and extend your legs up to the sky. Point and flex your toes, last little blast of the core here. So you can tuck your hands or just your thumbs kind of underneath your booty here. Now we're not looking for a big swing of the legs to lift the hips. It's a tiny range of motion. Much like we did that little curtsy and we needed the tiny range of motion, it's the same thing here. We don't want the legs to swing really wide, forward and back. We're just taking a little range of motion here. So activate your core. I lost my breath somewhere. Activate your core, draw your belly button down, snuggle your shoulders. We have a little lift and lower, lift and lower. Not a big swing of the legs. Activate your core. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Keep it going. Here's 13. We've got 24 this time. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. We've got 4 more. Make them good. Really hug your belly down. 2, 23, 24, and slowly point those toes and let your feet come all the way down to the earth. Take a long full body stretch. And release. Slowly begin to bend your knees, draw your knees in towards your outer ribs. Let your big toes touch like you're in a supine version of child's pose here. And give a little gentle rock from side to side. Massage your low back. Place your feet on the earth. Nice release for glutes and thighs here. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Give a gentle press at the base of your right thigh. Sujivandrasana. Figure 4. You can remain right here or draw your left knee in. Wind your hands underneath your hamstrings, behind your hamstrings of your left leg. Or maybe you can bring them over the top of the shin and use your right elbow for some resistance. And we're hanging out here with some breath. Maybe finding a little cat-cow here serves you. So rolling your tailbone to the floor to find the tiniest low back curve. And then find a little press, navel draws down, curl in a little more. So maybe that will feel good for your outer right hip. I know it does for mine, but it may not for you. Super subtle movement. And slowly unwind your legs. Let's switch the cross. Bring your left ankle over your right thigh. Gentle press at the base of both thighs. And maybe you'll curl that right knee in. Maybe you'll send your hands over the top of your shin, but keep curling those left toes back towards its knee. And again, maybe you'll find that tiny little bit of cat and cow here, where you press the navel and low back down, and then reach your tailbone forward and find the tiniest little low back curve. And it might not even be a low back curve, but just finding that sensation is enough. And slowly unwind that side. Feet as wide as the mat. Open your arms to T, to goalpost, or to a V. To slowly wiper your knees from side to side. If it calls to you to hold to the right or to the left, please feel free to do that. Take a few breaths. I'll just keep moving while you do that. And when you're ready, slowly heel toe feet together, draw your knees in, and rock yourself up to an easy seated pose. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back a few times, just as we did at the beginning of the practice. Let your shoulder blades hug the back of your heart. Draw your hands to your heart. Take a moment to pause and offer gratitude to your physical body for the practice today. To your mental body for playing along and making shifts and having a good sense of humor. And to your emotional body for just making yourself feel good today. Thank you so much for sharing in our bar practice this morning. I hope you have a great week, and gratitude to each of you. Namaste. Have a great day.